Why is the jury laughing?
Zero chance of winning the game.
Supposed to talk lamb, are you?
My grandmother's sitting home watching Jerry Springer.
Lee, is there any way I could have your jacket?
Welcome back to Survivor Breakfast. We are talking season 44, episode 4 here. Kale, there is a lot to love right now. There are so many hidden immunity idols, fake hidden immunity idols. There are crazy alliances happening. And I think most excitingly to me, we finally got some sort of swap back in the game. But tell me, what are your thoughts high level on this episode?
Yeah, you're so right, and it's almost they did this in season 40 because they introduced the fire tokens, which I'm happy was kind of just a once a one off, I should say.
Yeah.
But what they did was they kept a counter going on the screen for each person to see who had what. And I know they throughout the last couple seasons they would tell us, oh, so and so has X, blah 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 blah. But they should do an idol counter right now at the top of the screen.
Honestly,
A
yeah.
true idol counter, a fake idol counter, and how many idols have been played. Listen, you and I both alike have been beating this for the last 3 seasons, saying that we need some idol plays that actually have some consequence to it. You go back to season 41, and this is where to me it all started. Is that Xander just had an idol that everybody knew about the entire time, and then he played it, and it was the most meaningless idol I think in the history of the game, to be quite honest with you. And it ended up, and that's kind of the pattern that this game kind of went for the next 2 seasons thereafter.
Wait. His idol though was the Steel and Idol swap though. No, that was kind of cool.
No, he got the Beware. No.
Yeah, but I thought they used that to trick Leanne.
Oh, you're talking about the knowledge is power? You're talking about?
Yeah, they tricked the knowledge is power.
Yeah, that part. Yeah, but I'm talking about the actual
But
idol
I
play
agree.
ended up.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
actual
ended up
idol
having
itself was
no
useless.
consequence. Listen, if we're playing an idol per episode this season, sign me up. Sign me up.
Well, consequential idols at the very least.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, just the fact that there are hidden idols at all is exciting. I mean, like we saw it tonight. Josh plays an idol. Josh stays when he should have gone home.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
on
And
the
and
boat.
it adds excitement. I didn't know where Carolyn was leaning.
No, me neither.
I also, it's just funny if you saw the post messages and Sarah giving her speech at the end. She was still under the impression that she had a real idol, and she went home. She was quoting, and I felt horrible. She was quoting, saying that she was in the company of people that have gone home with idols in their pockets, but she didn't actually have one, so it was kind of brutal.
Look, I mean, Sarah got screwed from all ends because even if she made it through this week, she was gonna get screwed at some point, right?
Oh,
by
definitely.
that fake idol. So, like, I mean, and I'm sure she's gonna have some post game interviews with either Rob as a podcast or an Entertainment Weekly where she's gonna be kicking herself for that fake idol. It would have been really fun to see that, but we've got some other fake idols in the game, so hopefully those get played to
Yeah,
to
which
good
is
effect.
which is great, and like to me, and again, I don't want to go on a path of comparing seasons, but Survivor's doing a great job in letting the characters manufacture the drama themselves. And it's like
Yeah.
not, and like, yes, they're instituting a ton of different devices, but Carolyn's creative X marks the spot. That was wonderful. It was absolutely wonderful, and it was completely
great.
different than what Danny did. It was completely different for what Matt did by creating an idol all on his own that had nothing to do with the birdcage.
Absolutely.
So the characters are winning out this season, and it's awesome.
And
It's
I
awesome.
think the producers so far are doing a really good
Yes.
job of setting them up for success to
Yes.
do those things, like you said. I think I mean, unless I'm totally missing something, we haven't had any like dumb advantages yet this season. It's all just been normal idols, right?
No, so I mean, you and I can debate as we move forward tonight if this all 3 people get an idol immediately when they move to this camp.
That's
Is
yeah,
that is
that's a
that
little
is that chill? I don't know. But
yeah. I mean that kind of has a timer on it, right?
no, it has
But
it has a timer on it, but you're going in there with complete blanketed safety. I don't know.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, like, look, I was discussing this, while I was watching the episode. You're talking about the swap and just automatically getting an idol, right?
Yeah.
I think you kind of have to though. Otherwise, the odds of that person who just got swapped in going home is just so astronomically high.
No, I'd probably put it at 90%.
Such a disadvantage going into a tribe 1v3,
No
1v4,
doubt.
1v5. It, having that idol, I think, is really important. And I think that I would argue that although it is an idol for free, which, feels on paper bad,
A little dirty, a little dirty.
that idol for free does give them the opportunity to, do interesting things like we saw with Josh, where he's like, hey, I'll play this for you.
Yeah, listen.
Use that as a bargaining chip for those alliances. So I think
As
you
a
need to
viewer,
have it.
as a viewer, I have no issue with it. As a viewer, I have no issue in it, and all it really did is this kind of a firecracker to kind of set the tribe ablaze on any cracks that might be existing, and that's what we saw
Yeah.
tonight with Jam Jam and Carolyn. It's that there was some cracks, and we hadn't seen yet where Jam Jam would say, "Oh, throw Carolyn under the bus. They view me as a bigger threat." She said at one point tonight that Jam Jam, yeah, you've been saying this for a while now. I hadn't heard that yet. So
Yeah.
clearly, maybe Jam Jam's on a bit of his high horse, and
Yeah.
his game might be a little bit put together anyways, because Carolyn, as we've seen tribal after tribal, like it's just pure paranoia.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I think you got to give her more credit overall, to be honest.
I think she did a great job. She's put
Yeah.
herself in a phenomenal position in the tribe. She's gotten rid of somebody who seemed to be a very good strategic player in Sarah. And like Jam Jam's screwed now, right? Because she's got Josh, and unless he can put a wedge between them, which I don't think is unrealistic, to be clear. I think it's a pretty easy argument to be like, hey, you don't want to be aligned long term with this wild card. But I think you got to give Carolyn a lot of credit here, and having the chutzpah to not play your idol. I know she probably had the conversation with Josh of like, hey, play your idol on yourself. So I don't think she was super surprised with
I
him.
was confused. I was confused on that.
Yeah.
We didn't see anything that he was going to switch that to himself.
With her voting for Sarah.
They had to have had the
I
conversation.
think they had
I
to
agree
have
with
had
you.
that conversation, right? She
I
made
was
the
kind of
decision
down.
to
I
go.
was kind of down for a more boss move of him about to play it on her, and she stands up. I was prepped
And
for
it's
that
like,
and said,
no,
no,
play it on
play it
yourself.
on yourself. Yeah, exactly.
That could have been sick. That could have
Yeah.
been sick. Maybe too high vis. I don't
No,
know if
but
she's thinking about that. That would have
well,
been sick.
yeah, high visibility for a situation where there's 3 of them left. There's 3 of them
Yeah,
left.
that's true. That's true. I mean, it's
So
not.
do you do this move if you're Carolyn more times than not?
That's a really good question.
Because you're
I
2v1 now, bona fide.
I think you do, and I think you do because one, assuming you believe him, Josh has said to you, "Hey, I'm in a really good place on my tribe," right?
Yeah.
If you believe whether or not he is, if you believe that he is actually in a good place in his past tribe, I think it is a higher EV play to make this move because one, you're now in the bona fide for the 3-person,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And come merge, you've got a new inroad into some potentially really exciting alliances for the future that you wouldn't have otherwise if you alienate him. Because even if he's in a bad place in his tribe, by voting him out, you're not going to get like brownie points with them at the merge.
No.
You know what I mean?
You're talking
So
about
this is
a
the only
shift,
opportunity for
a
an
resume boost.
improvement. Yeah, a
Yeah.
resume boost and an improvement on your odds of good alliances post merge.
Yeah, listen, and I also think it's as simple as, I kind of hate when the game gets this way, but and I don't know how they're viewing themselves, but they got their ass kicked pretty much, and they really were only in the immunity challenge because Brandon had to go all the way back to the start
Yeah.
of the challenge, and now they're gonna have
That was
3.
brutal, by the way.
Yeah, I know, it was brutal,
You're right,
and he
though.
was
You got to give it one more try to grab the key,
I
right?
don't know how close she was. I mean, the
She wasn't
replay
very
looked
close. She wasn't
no,
very
and
close.
probably because she didn't even hesitate, it gave them the best chance, to be honest. I mean, they didn't know that Jam Jam was gonna struggle as much with the, balance beam, but
Yeah.
my thing is for Carolyn's sake, I'm gonna put their likelihood that they're going back to tribal at, like, at least 75%,
It's pretty high.
right?
It's pretty high. And getting getting put on a two-person tribe is really brutal this early in the game.
Wait,
I
what do you
mean,
mean? For Josh
like
to
if they
take
go
it
if
from him?
they go back to tribal and they vote out Jam Jam,
Oh, yeah.
let's say,
Yeah.
like being on a two-person tribe is tough, dude.
No, we haven't seen that since
That
I
one
guess it
when
was
they
41, which with Shan and
Ricard.
Ricard. Yep, Shan and Ricard after they voted out Genie, and then the merge happened because that's
I
where
guess
we're
I
at.
guess that just immediately creates them like they just have to merge at that point, right?
No, no, 100%. Because what are we at in the other two tribes? We're at
5-4.
5, no, 5-5, I think still, right?
Oh, is it 5-5?
Yeah, it's 5 and
Something like that.
5. Yeah, so that would bring it to
Yeah, well, you
12,
got
and then
both
if there's
tribes
and then if
sitting out 3 people. You're just not
no,
feasible.
it's just not gonna work. So for the sake that now Carolyn kind of ensures that she's gonna make that merge. I mean, and
It basically it guarantees a merge.
it guarantees a merge, and then there's the forethought of thinking about, okay, to what you talked about, and weighing what Josh said about what he has with his tribe. Now you weigh that versus, okay, how true of a companion is Jam Jam for me moving forward? And clearly,
Now I think none.
no, now none, but that because she made this decision. But before
Yeah,
she
yeah,
made this
yeah.
decision, in her head
Almost.
was like, it can Jan Jan actually be, my partner moving forward? And candidly, and she's gonna have a tough time with this the entirety of the season. I mean, she is eccentric in how she, behaves, and
Mhm.
that's just who she is. But I think, candidly, she's smarter than she lets on, so it's actually probably a benefit to her. But she's gonna have this viewpoint that she's like, not leading the charge for at all because the people are
Yeah,
just gonna
no one's
say,
ever gonna believe like, "Oh, yeah, she really did it," unless she has something that is just so purely her pulling the move.
no, yeah, and candidly, I think Carolyn has a path to the end of the game by using this guise of saying, this is who I am, and I'm just gonna go through this way.
But can you get to the
But
end and not look like a goat?
exactly, I don't know how. I mean, listen, people can say Gabler did XYZ last season, but who knows? But
Yeah, but I will say, everybody on this season has not seen last season, right?
no,
They
no,
have.
no, not. Hold on a second. No. They
Every other
recorded at the
season,
same
they've
time.
seen all the seasons, right?
No, they recorded at the same time.
Yeah, okay, so they haven't
Last
seen last season.
No. Last summer they recorded
I was gonna
43 and
say
44.
if they had seen last season, I think they'd be less likely to let her win at the end, having seen Gabler win, probably.
Yeah, but she's
But
already got more moves than
she's got
Gabler, I
stuff.
think.
Honestly, yeah. She planted a fake idol. I mean, like, can you even claim that fake idol at the end of the game though, if it never got like used?
Listen, we've spoken about this. What is the new meta? To me, one of the things with the new meta is that, like, in this end game, so you are such a threat all the way up into that fire making that I truly believe that there might be a piece of this game where you got to do all your shit early game and then get behind the scenes, and then
It's early. Get out in front of it and then just hide the rest of the
no,
game.
just hide the rest of the game, and hopefully you're there with 2 other people that did nothing the entirety of the game, and then you point to that. I mean, that's kind of what we've looked at the last couple seasons here.
Potentially. All right, I want to take a step back though, and I want to talk about just the idea of this solo swap as a whole and what we think about the solo swap because I think we're really getting into the details here. I have been craving a full swap for seasons now. We had the Christian had a segment with Rob Has a Podcast actually
Mhm.
last season, kind of calculating how many interactions and how many relationships can be created with a swap, without a swap, and 3 tribes versus 2 tribes for both of those scenarios as well.
I love some
And
Christian math. I love it.
I know, I know. It just really solidifies a feeling that you have, and you're like, oh, that's why I feel that way about this. I was really hoping for a full swap. I didn't think we were going to get anything this season, so I'm really excited about even a solo swap. At least that is something. It feels like the producers almost giving us a like a compromise. Like, hey, here's a little something. But what are your thoughts on the solo swap?
To me, they almost got a bit scared of the swaps, and I think the
Mm,
swaps got scrutinized for a number of seasons.
yeah,
It's been a 3 starting tribe situation for all 4 of these seasons post the pandemic,
yeah,
and the season prior was obviously Winners at War, which was a 2 tribe situation with 10 people each. Um, the tribe swap is almost a cornerstone of to me, and it's been kind of exemplified by the fact that we've had a bit of a snooze last season, and it's been a little bit lack of drama the last
yeah.
couple seasons. So it's like, what's missing? Okay, this is one of the catalysts that's missing. So,
Yeah.
I think they're afraid potentially still of the full swap, and that's why they did that compromise
But
that you
but
mentioned.
why are they afraid of the like, what are they
I
afraid
think
of?
there was a lot of scrutiny that it wasn't maybe enough time for people to foster enough relationships. If you
That
had
it
that
just sounds
immediate
like
quick
useless almost. It's like
relationship
a
that
swap and then 4
yeah,
days.
it's also potentially, those people that started having something and then it got broken up too soon. And it could have been the budding relationship of something better that would have
Mhm.
lasted and helped the show,
Yeah.
fuel the show a little bit better for the
Yeah.
longevity of the season. But
Yeah. I
but to
I I get that,
me,
but
this is a cornerstone because it puts people on their toes. I mean, we had complacency these last couple seasons, and
yeah.
everybody just was kind of in alignment of voting. So listen, I think the swap was welcomed. I think them having the idol, what you said before, I'd probably pin it at like 90% that that person would be targeted to go
Yeah,
home. I mean,
without the
look,
idol?
yeah, I know. Look at
Screwed.
Soka. They were looking through Jamie's bag and they're like, yo, we want to get her out right away. We just want to make sure she doesn't have an idol.
Instantaneously.
Instantaneously. They gave her
It
two
doesn't help
seconds
that
on the
Jamie's not a
beach.
great, challenge person. You know
Well,
what I
yeah,
mean?
but regardless, the same conversation existed about Josh on Tika.
Absolutely.
And
And
we
look,
didn't see it. We didn't see a lot on Rat 2, but I'm
yeah.
sure they were having the same conversation
Well,
about
yeah, I mean,
Josh.
it's anybody but me, and this is the easiest person that we can
It's
kind of
it's
get everybody to agree on when somebody new comes
so
in.
simple. I mean, listen, if they're again, it's a thing that we've talked about in the past too. If they're going to start to set precedents for seasons moving forward, and they do this single swap, everybody will know they probably will have an idol. So again, they have to be careful on that sake. But
Yeah.
it's a new twist. So I was down. It
I
caused instant drama.
I am more than happy with it. I would have been even happier with a full swap, but I will take what I can get.
No, no
I will
doubt.
take what I can get. Um, uh, what was the other thing that I wanted to talk about with this
Well,
episode? Oh,
again, it was probably just the idol in general. No.
what about the idol in general? Oh, just having
Yeah, I mean, we
the
kind of
idol be
thought
automatic.
we've kind of mentioned it a couple times here, but
Well, you know what I kind of liked about the automatic idol as well is that it really is a surprise to the players. They've been so conditioned on this ship wheel island of doing some sort of
oh,
risk,
so
some
true,
sort of prisoner's dilemma,
so true.
and then they get up there and they're just like, "Oh, okay." And that I think that really skews who they're picking goes to this island. You know what I mean? Because they've been so conditioned on this that they're like, "All right, we know we can do this, we can do this," and then you make that choice, and then suddenly it's like, "Oh, Josh is gone forever now."
Well,
What are we gonna do?
100%, 100%, and I was thinking about that too. It's just like it's funny because Josh's dynamic was that he was actually the low man on the totem pole, which he didn't realize. So for
Yeah,
their sake, I guess it really didn't matter. They just swapped in Josh for Jamie, and Jamie was sitting in the same exact position Josh was, right?
didn't change. Yeah,
Yeah, nothing changed. But for what you're talking about, 100%. And again, I don't want to go down comparing and contrasting, but the producers, they just flipped a switch and said, we're going to change this shit all up this season. Again, they did basically the same recipe for 3 seasons in a row, and this is just
Yeah.
so refreshing. The
Well,
birdcage, the
it's
tribe swap, it's refreshing.
I've liked everything we've done. There hasn't been anything this season where I'm like annoyed at all, even a little bit, which
No,
I
I
love.
mean,
I love, and I think it makes me feel a lot better because preseason the Jeff did a interview,
little Q&A.
yeah, like months ago,
Mhm.
and he said, I forget exactly where this was, but he said, "Oh yeah, for me and the producers, this has been our favorite season in like recent memory," which at the time made me really nervous because the last few seasons we know have had some issues,
Mhm.
and the producers haven't really said, and Jeff haven't said much about that. They've kind of kept up the appearance of like, oh, we love this, and so that made me really nervous. But this gives me some hope again in Jeff and the producers, where like they're like, yeah, this is our favorite season in a while, and this is also my favorite season in a little bit.
Oh, it's
Uh,
it's Sim,
so
it's not close. I mean,
it's like the rest of the season could honestly be pretty close to a dud, and I'd be like, yeah, this is the best season out of the last 4.
no, it's not close, at least from an early game standpoint, right?
Absolutely.
And we'll see where this progresses. Really, while I say I love the drama and everything, and I don't want to, I don't want to be like it's like I'm trying to have my cake and eat it too. Is that um, are they? Is it that these idols are manufacturing all of the drama, and it's really not strategic gameplay just yet? Yeah, that might be the case right now. So, like, I want to see some people devise some bigger moves, right?
Yeah.
But I think the idols leading drama is just better. That's just core Survivor. So it's like,
It's better Survivor. I think the other thing too, and I agree with you on
mhm,
the idols, leading a lot of this drama, but
mhm.
I also think there is potentially too, uh, some percent chance that a lot of the drama this season is coming from. I think there's a lot of players coming in this season saying, "Hey, there wasn't a lot of stuff going on the last couple seasons.
Mhm.
This is a really good opportunity for me to make some moves because everybody's kind of been lulled by these last couple seasons into that sense of complacency, and that
No
that
doubt.
opens up a really good avenue. So I think that could be a lot of it as well. I think the producers are setting them up for success, like we said, with those idols. Um, but I like, we haven't had any confusing advantages. A lot of the idols have been fairly well hidden. And if not hidden like the birdcage, they give you an opportunity for misdirection with the fake idols. You know, I just couldn't be happier with how it's going so far, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm with you all the same. And listen, I think we started the conversation last week. In your eyes, I don't know if we, got any insights to some people with chops for the longer, residency in this game. I think Carson got some good screen time tonight.
Yep.
Um, I think it's gonna be very interesting. I mean, Carolyn is someone that demands the camera. I've said this, that she'll literally would kick ass on any
I want
reality
her
TV
to be
show.
on. I don't care whether she wins or not. I need her to stay until the finale. She's
Well,
such good TV, dude.
where do you put her? Where do you put her positioning? Like out of 10, give me out of 10 her chance of winning this game right now. Is it
I
slim?
I don't think it's slim, but I don't think it's higher than a 5. I think it's more like a
Yeah, but
3 or a 4.
who are you putting above Carolyn right now?
I'm
Are you
putting
putting Jam Jam or Josh on her tribe?
I put Josh at a higher percent than I do.
No, I'm
She's
telling you.
I think she's too. I think she's too much of a wild card.
I mean, that's
Yeah, I think there's
fine.
going to be a lot of people who are like, yeah, I would bring her to the end as a goat, but I can't risk. I mean, just look at Jam Jam. He's, he worked with her. Now he was, you know, kind of being mean to her, which was
Yeah.
a bad move.
Mhm.
That really lowered my opinion of Jam Jam a lot.
Well, that's
in the
where I
game.
was at too. I mean, I don't know how high I was on Jam to
I wasn't
start.
very high, but I'm
Clearly,
less high now.
what'd you say?
I said I wasn't very high either, but I'm lower now.
Yeah, but clearly, there. I mean, again, Carson was able to pitch, and the other tribes felt like that he was leading the charge too. And listen, he might be boisterous at some of the challenges too, where they say he commands the room, and he definitely has a personality that does so, right?
I
But
just think Carson and Sarah were doing a good job of like staying back and keeping a low profile. I think that's the only reason people thought that.
well, yeah, but how are you making an assessment from these as another tribe other than just seeing them at the challenges, right? That's all you really can see, right?
Yeah, I guess I think I would probably make that same assumption. I agree with you. I don't think I would. I
Yeah, I
just
don't.
mean that like
I guess I would too with the line of who had been voted out.
if with the line who had gotten voted out, and if I could see how close Jam Jam and Carolyn were, then I'd be like, oh, it's definitely Jam Jam. Because if
Mhm.
he's got a tight two, and he's like the most talkative out of everybody, I'm like, okay, he can get along with people, and he can be high vis and be fine. He's probably doing a lot of work on that tribe.
Mhm.
But like, I go back to your earlier question, who I vote, who I rate higher than Carolyn is, I I think Carson has a better chance. I
Yes.
think Matthew has a
Yes.
better chance. I think um, not his name is not David.
No, Danny.
Danny. God, the name's the season, dude. I can't for some reason.
I don't know. I
sticking.
don't know what it is too. I feel like I think we've been doing this show here for a couple seasons, and we've recycled a lot of names in our head. And
I
we've
think
had
it's 'cause
name we've had more unique names like Roxroy and stuff. I don't know. Maybe it's just like,
I think we didn't do a preseason show this season,
is
and I
that
think
really the
that
kicker?
hurt
Is
us.
that really
I
the
think that helped
kicker?
us a lot because we'd spend 2 hours doing a pre-show.
Yeah,
Talking
I
about
think that's
stuff.
it too. And I'm sorry, Survivor 44. We're getting there. We're getting there. But
Yeah,
listen,
we will get
the
there.
good
And the
thing
less
is that,
players there are, the easier to memorize.
yeah, and listen, everybody's doing a good job that we are still kind of trying to figure out where we're at because
Yeah,
no one's sticking out tremendously overtly. So
yeah.
um
I think I rate a lot of people probably higher than Carolyn, and
I
maybe
don't know. I
that's to
think
my
you just
detriment.
named
Maybe
three. You just named
that's name
three.
three. I also probably think that
I don't know if the showmance is above Carolyn, are they?
no, probably not. I mean, they're in a dangerous position. They've been so you got to be sneakier when
Yeah.
when you're head over heels in love. You got to be sneakier.
Listen, I'm in that boat. I mean, they who
He even said we got to stay
who
away from each
oh
other. They couldn't.
Jamie went to their tribe.
Yeah, Jamie. I look, love Jamie to death. She is delusional. She
You
is.
know what it is? I think she's high on the game, which listen, I would be too. So
I
I
know, but
can't
she
fault
got
her.
to the new tribe. She's like, I was running that last tribe. I did what I needed to do. I got out of there. I'm gonna do the same thing here. Meanwhile, like she was like
That
bottom
may
of that tribe.
I'll cut her a bit of slack because she may have been literally just trying to hype herself up because it was a shitty situation, or she did seem pretty pleased. So I have no idea, but
I really think that she like I don't know. She gives me big Disney adult vibes, and I don't like those people.
what
I just
movie?
don't.
What movie?
Oh, she's a. Oof. I think she's a big Snow White.
Snow White, and
Yeah.
she's been awoken,
And
and
she's
now
thinking, she's thinking of these other players as just her little dwarves. The seven
I like
dwarves
the
running around
analogy.
for her.
I like the
Um,
analogy.
okay, something that I wanted to talk about for this episode is Sarah in the tribal. She believes that she has an idol in her pocket.
Yeah.
As soon as I see Josh play that, I think I have to play that idol.
Yeah,
I
listen.
know she believes that he still is with them to vote Carolyn, and she's just like, "Oh,
Well,
Carolyn's
no,
gonna
no.
go home."
Well. I mean, sure, but like, ah, like, Here's the other thing. I don't, and it's one of the beautiful things about analyzing this game and not being in the game. Like Josh and Carolyn had multiple conversations there, and listen,
They seem to be on good terms.
yeah, and listen, it's gonna happen that way anyways. You got 4 people, so probably everybody's having conversations with everybody. So it's not like you can pinpoint what conversations had more strength to them.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I really think I have my ear to the ground if I'm Sarah and kind of realize that those conversations that Josh and Carolyn were having had some meaning behind them. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
again, I don't know how if they did a good job of hiding it. Kudos to them, right?
Yeah,
But
no, I agree, and she obviously believed him because otherwise she
yeah,
would have. Yeah, I don't. You know what I'm thinking about now, though. I think this would be a difficult conclusion to get to if you were in the game, but I think the actual best play that
hmm
Sarah could have done, because she knew she was 3 of 3 between her, Jam Jam, and Carolyn, right? Josh comes in. I think what you do is you go to him, you have that same conversation of let's get Carolyn out. But you try to have a private conversation with him, just you two. And
you're
you
talking
say,
about
"Hey,
Sarah. You're talking about
Sarah."
yeah.
And I think you say to him, "Hey." And you plan to vote Josh out, I think still. But you say to him, "Hey, to gain some trust, just so you know, I have an idol. And I want to show some trust here." Because then you have two situations. First situation, Josh still goes home
hmm
like you planned.
Yep.
In which case, he goes home with that knowledge.
Yep.
So you haven't revealed anything. Scenario 2, he backstabs you. But he knows that you have an idol. And so to be safe, he goes after Jam Jam instead of you.
Yeah. Listen,
And
not
then if he
only
goes
do I
after
agree
Jam
with
Jam
that.
instead of you,
That's
then
logically
you would still
sound.
have an ally because you've shown him some trust and you've got that already
That's
set up.
logically sound. And what to emphasize more that third point of what you're talking about. It's so funny because you have to go into this game. You kind of have to map out a lot of different scenarios about how really do like almost a research paper or something like that. This makes all the sense in the world for 4-person dichotomy. This makes all the sense in the world that
Yeah.
I think Carolyn played this to perfection. Now she kind of
Yeah,
got
she did a good
backed
job.
into this corner because of what went down with Jam Jam.
Well, she
What
also got kind of given it on a silver platter with Josh coming to her and saying, "Hey, I have an idol. I'll play it for you." You know what I mean?
No, but I think the conversation first started and she was vulnerable saying that, listen, I don't trust Jam Jam, and we just had that fight. Like that
Did she
conversation
start
about
that conversation?
yes, that was
I see.
brought to
Okay.
light.
All
That
right.
was brought to light.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what you're talking about with Sarah's sake, yeah, if Sarah, I thought she was. I thought she was gonna jump on the Josh train immediately. But she
That
wanted to I think she
would have been
wanted to
my
get
plan.
re-ingratiated with Carolyn and Jam Jam.
I think it's a mistake. I think you start a new alliance at that point because it's like
100%
even if you
because
get in with them, you're 3 of 3. You're getting voted off the next week anyways.
what that's completely true. One.
Yeah.
And two, you flip the script, and if one of them goes home, it's 2v1. Just like Carolyn has it right
Exactly.
now.
Exactly.
It's like listen, yeah, I think
I think that was a big mistake.
she underperformed tonight. To dial back to what you're saying with the tribal, for her sake, it's
I
kind
don't
of
know that
better
I'd
that
be
she
able
didn't
to
have to.
play
It's
that
kind of better
idol
that
against
she didn't
you.
have to play it, so she didn't have to go through
I
the
would have
embarrassment.
loved that though, dude. That would have really taken the episode to a new level. Oh
Well,
my
listen,
goodness.
the scene is set for at least that potentially happen once or twice more. So who's got it? Jamie's got it, and Matt's got it. So,
Oh, the fake idol?
yeah,
Yeah,
Jamie has a real and a fake, which I also when
I
she's
can't wait. Which one does she
I
play?
so that's so funny because it's like,
That's almost a little surprise. That's a
well, she's
little
got to play
surprise
the
for
one.
us.
She got to play the one that expires, is what she will do. She'll play the one that expires first,
Oh yeah, I guess she would.
which
I
is
guess
the
she
real
would.
one for her sake,
Yeah,
right?
you're right. But that's gonna lull her into a false sense of security.
And even more so, right? Because she plays
more so,
one, she's
'cause it's like,
confident coming off of it.
worked. How
Yeah, it
good did that
worked.
feel?
I'm good at doing this, and yeah, I mean, listen, that's the best part about what's going on too this season, Sim, because it's like, you know, it's setting up for dramatic things to happen in the next few, 2, 3, 4, 5 episodes because of all these
I can't
idols.
wait.
I I don't know if there is there is there a place where there's too many idols? I mean, that was some of the complaints
That
before season 40. There was a lot of people clamoring that there's just too many advantages, too many idols happening. But a lot of
was 'cause there
that,
was random advantages in there.
yeah, I
I
think
think I
it
think any
was
more idols than this, I think we're getting a little problematic. I think we're right at the edge.
yes,
And it
but
feels like more than there is because of the fake ones as well. I
yes,
think.
that's also true, 100%. But here's the other thing: a lot of people, I think, clamored about that because it was like seasons like Ben in Healers Hustlers. I forget what it was. I think it was 35, I think, or 36.
Uh-huh.
Healers Hustlers. Ben just found episode after episode after episode. He just kept finding another idol. So it was like, what are we doing? That's different than what we have going on right now.
Well, 'cause
Well,
they're spread
yes.
pretty well.
So I
Yeah.
don't think I think if everybody had an idol, now I can't do this, but if everybody had an idol at the
No.
beginning of the game and it was a secret, and everybody had it individually, listen, those
Maybe
are
that'd
just
be fun
catalysts
for
for
one season if everyone just had one. Like they started the game and they told every person like,
how
"Hey,
dope would that be
we're
though?
just giving you an idol."
How
No, but
dope would that be?
I
I
think
guess they would kind of
I don't know.
deduct sooner rather than later that like everyone
They'd
got
figure
one,
it
right?
out pretty quick, I think, probably. But okay, well, who
They're like
has a real idol
firecrackers
right
though,
now?
man.
Danny?
They're so cool.
Danny has a real idol.
Danny has a real
Carolyn
idol.
has a
Matthew
real
on
idol.
Rat 2 has one.
Yeah, is it Maddie?
Matthew.
No, Maddie was the girl who got kicked off.
No.
I thought Matthew.
No,
has a
yes,
fake
there's a Maddie with a D. Yes, but then there's a Maddie with a T.
Maddie with a T has a fake one.
As the fake one on Soka.
All right, so the real ones. Danny.
Yes.
Matthew has a real one or a fake one?
Yes, Matthew has a real one and then created a
Has-
fake one that Jamie
Yes.
has, but Jamie also has a real one.
Jamie has a real one. Carson has a real one.
Carolyn has a real one.
Caroline has a real one.
Josh's is gone.
So there's 5 in the game right now.
5 real, 2
I think-
fake.
I think more than that, I don't know how happy.
Well, you're talking you're talking about half the cast right now basically. You're talking
I
about
think-
5 of 13.
4 is kind of a sweet spot on the max. 4, 5 is kind of my personal.
Yeah, but are
max
you
I
mad?
think.
Are you mad if one's being played every episode?
No, I'm not actually.
I'm not mad.
Because if one's getting played every episode, like everyone's gonna start getting real paranoid, and then there's some weird vote math that gets to go on that I think
Yeah.
is really fun actually. So I'm
Yeah.
actually not mad. I just don't know if that happens, 2 or 3 seasons in a row, do you get a little burnt out on it? I don't know.
Oh, no doubt. But listen, Sim, we were owed this. So I don't know if Survivor just
We
said
were owed
you're owed this
We
as the viewer.
deserved this. we needed this.
Listen,
So I'm happy about it.
Yeah, I am too. So, from the standpoint of winner potential, I don't know if tonight changed all too much. From what it
didn't
seems
flip
like,
anybody for me. I mean, Carolyn went up a little bit,
yeah,
but not to the top 3 or anything.
man,
I know
are
you
you gonna
want
get
to,
are you
but
gonna get
she's
pissed?
not
Yeah,
in the top 3.
are you gonna
know?
get pissed at me if I do that?
I mean, look, feel free to put her wherever you would like, but if you put her in the top 3, I think it's a little disingenuous. I think she's really fun to watch, and I think that makes us want to put her up
But
there.
you don't think that this stick thing? I mean, it was 100%
For the win.
creative. You can't debate that it wasn't
this is a different-
creative.
This is a different question for who's most likely to make it to the finale, but who's most likely to win?
Well, we've seen this. We've seen this the last couple seasons. Who knows who makes it to the finale?
But this feels
The
like a
big
totally
dogs keep
different
getting
season.
voted out at 6-5-4. The big dogs every single time.
Oh, but this season feels different. It could be different,
I mean, it's
Kale. It
definitely
really
different.
could.
It's definitely different. It's definitely different. I mean,
Yeah, for me, my stock up is Carolyn went up, but my top 3 and my winner pick of Danny hasn't moved.
again, Carson's getting a ton of airtime, like a lot of airtime.
He's a stock up. He's a stock up for me.
Yeah, but
He
he's
was
like
in-
he's
he was
like
in
a
my
ki-
top 3. Anyways, it was like him.
I think it was
Matthew, Danny.
Carson, Danny,
Matthew,
and
Danny.
Matthew, or no?
Yeah, and you had Matthew number 1, and I had Danny number 1.
Yeah. So I those three have gotten a lot of airtime. I might be kicking Danny out for Carolyn, is where I'm at right now.
You're gonna kick out Danny over Carson?
Yeah, dude, I mean, again,
He's
I
getting
don't
a
like,
lot of
I don't
airtime.
like,
He's getting a lot of airtime.
I don't like going the meta route, but he's getting a ridiculous airtime. And
And I think
if
he's really
he,
smart. And he's a
yeah,
good,
he's really
good
smart. And if he's
challenger as
actually
well.
getting ingratiated with these other tribes, he's just going to be so well balanced across
I
everywhere.
honestly, I think he's gonna do so sick if he can make it post merge for the individual immunity challenges. I think he's.
Do you think he's going to be good at the individual?
I think he's gonna be really good, dude. He's really good.
So
at
there's
puzzles.
the one kicker too. I
And
have
he's
I have
athletic.
no idea who's going to perform really well in those. I have no idea
I
right now.
think. I think
Matthew still can if he's not. But he seems not healthy.
If Matthew's arm can get better, he would be really good at an individual.
What is wrong with his arm?
He dislocated his shoulder.
So what is it now? Just completely bruised, or like what is the deal?
It's just like your muscles are like really weak. You can have some like slight tearing and stuff. So
Okay.
I actually dislocated my shoulder a few months ago, and I still have pain. Like if I put my arm straight up, it like hurts a little bit. Not like a lot, but you know that the first.
Are
couple
you
weeks-
Matthew Simmons?
Yeah, I might as well be. The couple weeks after that, it is really painful.
Yeah, and he's not getting the rest that's neaded either.
No,
So
definitely
that's
not.
that's well documented.
Yeah, so he's still doing
Um,
stuff. But
Yeah, because in the preview, a little scary that he. I don't know if you saw it. That
I actually missed the preview. I didn't see it.
Oh, okay, but in the preview for the next episode, he's really laboring in pain in the next episode. So I was like, shit.
Dude, I'm not surprised. I mean, last episode when he had to go under that log, I was like,
Yep.
oh, he redislocated his shoulder. Like,
Yep.
I was certain about it. It's not a great injury. And it's really easy for it to happen again soon after you have the first one.
So as the last talking point before we sign off here, some of these fringe players. I mean, is there anybody that's sticking out from these fringe players? And really, that's the rest of the gang that we really haven't talked about. So that's Kane and Brandon,
Brandon,
Lauren, Heidi. Are you seeing any promise? I mean, Lauren.
Out of all of those people, I don't know why. I don't really have any evidence to support this, but I like Lauren the best out of a lot of those fringe
Well,
players.
yeah, and she has the double vote. Bank your vote.
She has a bank your vote. Yeah,
So she's
Yeah.
getting 2 votes at one
that's
tribe
the
war.
only weird advantage that we have in the game.
And I'm down for that.
Forgot about that. I
I'm down
totally
for that.
forgot about that.
That's fine. I'm fine with me.
Fine, as long as the majority are actual idols.
Yeah, because the idols are the
There
biggest.
should only be one
firecrackers.
weird advantage in the game at a time. That's my new stance that I'm putting my foot down.
Yeah, and then they can't they have to do away with commonplace herd mentality. We all know where everything's at, and we're just gonna then just negate the fact that it exists and it won't matter, or we all know where it is, so we all can kind of gang up on that person and steal it. Like again,
Yeah.
when
We've got
everybody's
people actually trying
acting
to
with
flip votes, whereas we haven't had that.
exactly when everybody has perfect information in the game, it's just not fun. So I don't know. I agree. I think the fringe players still need to show some promise again, and the showmans with Franny and Maddie. I can't make a judgment call on them just yet. I don't think they're
Yeah,
in.
it's
I don't
seen
think they're in
enough.
a. I don't think they're in a great position.
Yeah.
But you got to think that Franny ends up wielding more of the power over Maddie at the end of the day.
100%,
Right.
and I think she's very smart too.
I think she is too.
As much as she should be being sneakier about this other stuff, but
Yeah.
yeah. Other than that, man, I can't wait to watch the rest of this season. I'm so excited.
It's fun.
I hope that we can even get to higher heights because this has been great so far.
I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I think we're just really two episodes away from some type of merge something. And yeah, I'm excited. I candidly don't even want to see, because I do think it's like a 75% that that Tika goes back to
Probably.
tribal, and I don't really want to see that. So I'm down for a merge even, and it's not I'm not even down with a merge because this has been boring. This has been great, but I'm ready for everybody to interact. I'm ready for everybody to interact.
I want everybody, because we got so many good characters out there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys for listening out there. We really appreciate it. If you're on YouTube, send us a comment. Let us know what you guys think of this season. Hit the like button, subscribe for more. We're going to be live every week after the episode, about 9:15, 9:30 every week. And other than that, I'll see you next week.
See you next week.